And Lee knows enough about IT. If you ask an IT question, I can read what I wrote down here and tell you what it is. He talk to him, he knows. But we dodged the bullet. There's no reason on this earth we should have been hit. Doesn't mean people can't try. I mean, look at what you're seeing in the news about how many people getting ransomware attacks. No one is safe from these people. They're really good. But we made our problem worse because we didn't have a network that was properly protected. There have been people complaining, Lee's one, I'm another, and others have been complaining for what, a decade? That the system wasn't properly engineered, properly designed, and properly protected. Had it been done correctly, it would have been more difficult. Maybe not impossible, but it would have been more difficult to get to it. So we dodged a bullet. We're able to come to the data safe, we're back up, and we end up with $35,000 in cost out of pocket. So it's a big bullet we dodged. If you've got questions, ask them. But yes, sir.
I had a question earlier from somebody about the DXCC awards and a manual process.
And
is there a manual process?
There's a manual process that's ongoing now. It's just started.
Yeah, to get that started, you would contact Lee.
Call the league, talk to radio sport.
Okay.
But that will be months before it comes back up because we can't connect that. What we're told, I think I said we can't reconnect that system until we get security into it. Sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about the VE testing and the new extra exam process?
No, because I haven't dealt with it.
Okay.
So I'll admit to being ignorant on that.
Okay.
What do you need to know about it?
Well, our club has been having a hard time getting the actual exams.
You're having trouble getting the exams because we got hit. Because we can't produce them and get them out. It's slow. So I have to manually do a lot of this that before was automatic. And again, it'll take months for us to catch up. I mean, rolling over the exam pool at the same time we got hit. We don't have enough people. We've got about 80 people up there working, and everyone is doing their best. And I can stand up here and I can complain about the fact we should not have had this attack. If you ask me what the attack vector was, we have about 4. We actually asked the bad guys, how'd you get the network? They told us. Does anyone in this room want to believe a criminal organization besides you? They gave us an answer, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But there are maybe at least 4 different attack vectors, and we don't know for certain which one. We got some idea of more probability, but some of them are classic, some of them are very sophisticated. There is even a thought that someone gave us up. We don't know. But give you an example of a problem with the network. What do you do when you take it offline? You disconnect from the internet, right? No. They disconnected it. And they're still talking to the internet. Because people had set up their own routers inside headquarters to connect to the network, to connect to the internet. So we had to go through and find if we were one of these things.
So there's more than 4.
Yeah, there are more than 4. So, but we got control of it, we're back up. It's just gonna take a while to get everything back up. What we hope happens, what the board wants to happen, right, is that this gets completely redesigned. I mean, if I were to sit here and tell you exactly what the components of the network were, those of you in IT would throw up. He's got a part of the idea, yes, but that's a major effort, and there are disagreements as to what it ought to look like, and you can chime in anytime you want. But everything needs to move up to the cloud. We do everything up there. We will be changing the backup systems, which is going to be much harder. There won't be one set of backups, there will be multiples. But that's the simple stuff. The real hard stuff is in redesigning this entire network and getting ourselves up in the cloud.
And for any Commodore 64 programmers in the house?
You know Fortran?
Well, go back to my point. I can say a lot of things about life. happened and why it should not have happened. And you can look at a long list of people who we can say were responsible for the failure or created the situation where this occurred. But let me say some good things. We've got 80 employees. There are some of us in here who may not like the current CEO. But to give him credit, and he and I do this with the occasion, but to give him credit, he didn't go to Dayton because he had a medical issue, painful medical issue. He had that same issue before we got hit. Even though he was working on the painkillers and in pain, to give him credit, he stayed in this almost 24 hours a day to try and get us back up and to deal with the ransomware demands. We've got outside law firms we had to deal with. We had hired people that are experts in dealing with network attacks. So he's trying to have to coordinate all this. He did a good job. We have employees that weren't working for us anymore that came back. John Bloom used to be our IT director. John came back and volunteered to help, and he made a big difference. You have a lot of employees who've come up with kind of cute, neat ways to get around some of these problems, and as a result of that, we have managed to bring some of these programs back up. So we can all complain about it shouldn't have happened, but to give credit where it's due, everyone that we've got out there worked hard and long hours to get us back up. So whatever disagreements we all have, they get credit, even if they get credit for that. Y'all got any questions further about that? Yes, ma'am.
I had a question about prioritization. Is it all just trying to just fix?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Prioritization of what you're fixing first?
The question is, what is the prioritization of everything? I don't have that list in front of me, but we've established a list of what we need to bring up first. One of the little things, it's not little, it's never me, is the ability to send out email to the division of sections. We can't. That system's down. It's not coming out for months, folks. So what we can do is get out, and you see the newsletters that are coming out. That system still works. We can get that out. But to be able for here to communicate, we can't. If you go through the VE system, it's a little bit further down on the priority list to get it done. We'll get the exams out, but it's going to be slower. The key is getting the key operating system back up. Personify safe, remember data safe. We had to get Welcome to the World back up, or we're going to be lynched. So it's a slow process. And part of the process, part of the problem is the servers that were running this have been damaged. If you encrypt data, encrypt the operating system, this shouldn't happen, but and Lee can explain that we're having to replace some of this stuff. And we're going to be careful, because those of you who know anything about IT, the question is, did they leave back doors? Those who are paranoid are worried about that. So we've got an outside group who I won't name because it will expose them to people we don't want to know about, that they're working through this. We're going through computer by computer, hard drive, server to server, trying to sort out what we can bring back up, what we'll save, and make sure there's nothing in there. So, yes, ma'am.
My other question is, do you think it'll be like late fall before you can approve VEs and things like that again?
On VEs, you're probably September. That's an important part of what we do. And I think we've got 1,800 VE applications in the queue right now. We can't get to. So it's going to take us a while to get caught up, but it's on the list of things to get done. Any other questions? If you have a complaint, talk to Lee. Yeah, I'll pick on you in a minute.